Hello everybody, just gotta switch it back to live chat here, and we're going to make sure our volume's good because I don't usually have anybody actively watching the stream to let me know that everything's a-okay. Actively watching the stream to let me know. Alright, like I said, I'm sure there's a better way of testing that, but that's the way I always do it. Okay, last time we had left off and we're working on this homestead level with my friend here who's came to visit and wanted to do a level together. And for this homestead level, we're going to open it up and we'll just make sure everything works. And we had that weird error. I did some things that are supposed to have stopped that error from happening. It was really just like, again, GPU stuff and stuff to do with the graphics card. So hopefully that fixed all the graphics card stuff. And we're going to just hit play to run to test here. Alright, just loading some shaders, that's the usual. We got our zombies down there. Zombies down there. Zombies down there. Okay, so last time we had set all this up and then we got a crash and we lost it all. So all we did was reset this all up. And then I put a farmhouse here. What are we working on? Just getting a little simple farmhouse. This has a little basement and everything like that. Obviously, if I try to go down the basement right now, see if I stuck a light in here because it is hard to see. We just go to basics, we just go to lights, and we just do something like a point light. Bring it in there. You'd see I have this ground here, and you can see the grass sticking up through. So what we would want to do to eliminate ground, we're just going to go to landscape, sculpt. There's a visibility here, and you could just click to kind of eliminate. You want to be careful because you don't want to have no grass on the outside of your house. So, and the way you could do to re-put it back is just shift clicking. So we're gonna shift click here, 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 and we know that we got the grass kind of in. And then we're just going to try to click all the way inside here. And if you look, see where we have this grass and stuff, we're just going to click in there and boom, that's gone. But we still have the grass. So remember, we're going to go to paint here. We're going to click on our remove procedure foliage tool. Foliage. Yeah. We're going to just do that. Should load up there. And there you go. We got a nice little basement. You can see where there's still grass, and you can start eliminating it. And again, you can just mess with the brush size here. The brush is a little big, and the fall off is, you almost want like no fall off. Or maybe a little bit more fall off actually. Just so I can get closer to the and it does it in clumps, so sometimes you'll notice this like weird thing where you're trying to erase something and it's not going. And you could add just like individual grass if you need to, so there, we're just erase the grass like that. So we had more lights in here. If we go to our selection tool, we had more lights in here. we would be able to see better if there's no grass. Another way of just checking is just going unlit. You can see that we have foliage. Oh, sorry, landscape. Some grass there. Some grass around here. Some grass around here. And again, you can do the same thing with the accessibility. You can come back and you can just make sure you're really getting in around here, killing all the visibility so there's no landscape or collision inside this area, because you're going to have your basement below this. You can see there's some grass here still, so we could switch back to the paint. There we go. Some grass along here still. Might have to go a little bit deeper in order to get rid of that grass. You can see that we get a little bit of yeah, it's just the wind is why it's a little sideways. Let's see, we eliminated a little bit too much of the landscape, so we're just going to hold shift click, fill that back in a little bit. Oops, maybe it's too much.
It's tough.
It's tough, but you could find ways, like sometimes
use the circle tool?
you could use different kind of tools. Like it's just like that's the brush I have. You could get your own kind of brushes here. Sharp. So you can bring in different brush types for sure. That's the only brush I really have at the moment. Yeah, it looks like with this brush, I will have to either have a little bit in the basement all the way along, or have the grass missing on the outside, which again we could cover. We could just bring in the basement walls or something like that. We can worry about that after. That's just like nitpicky stuff. So like I was saying, we had our spawn, so where we could have like kind of zombies spawning. We had our grass. We have our weather, so we can go into our details. We go back to selection here, and you can see that in our lighting, we have our sky and we have our weather. We could just easily change it to like thunderstorms. We can hit play. Again, smoke, noise. Thunder crackling in the distance, right? Or we could just do our cloudy day so we know what we're doing for now.
Yeah, seriously.
Like I said, we have the zombies that will spawn in different areas here just for testing, and we could we could go and kill the zombies. So today, there's a couple of things I want to maybe go over. One is maybe spawning some trees, doing some foliage other than just the procedural grass. And the other is like, yeah, we're gonna need to get ammo. So I was going to maybe do interactions with some doors here, and maybe interact. And after we see how we're gonna interact with the door, we're gonna interact with some sort of cabinet thing to receive ammo from. Because we're gonna need to get ammo. Because we're gonna run out of ammo if we just have unlimited zombies spawning.
Yeah, I think we had that back in the mobile phone game. We had like a home base we could just constantly ammo up at.
Yep, so let's see here. So first, okay, we could get some trees going, and for trees, we go to assets. Go to brushify. So he has different alpha brushes here. You can get those. We just got some trees here. So we go to foliage and we could go to paint, and it just says drag and drop here. These are foliage asset types. You can make these by dragging a mesh here, and then it will automatically make a foliage type, and then you could just save that. And when you have this foliage type, what this foliage integration has is that static mesh, the component class that it's using, and it has a bunch of information here like culling and stuff like that that you want to set. And you could set it on more than one, for example. And for this, we do want to be able to collide with these things. We do want them to have collision. Normally if you had a physics, it would be wood. So you have a couple of wood here, easy survival and MP system, sure. We want culling distance to start at about 10,000 out and to kind of finish around 20,000. These are static. Offsets anywhere from minimum -6 we'll do to maximum -2 maybe. So it's still kind of like in the ground a bit. Or do like -10 to, let's do like -4. A little bit in the ground. We want random yaws. We don't want to align with the ground, because if you have a slight hill, that means it's going to put it like 40, like the same direction of the hill. You kind of want them always sticking up. Shadows. We will have it cast a shadow for now. We'll just stick to dynamic shadow. But even that's pretty heavy. But yeah, that's pretty good. And we'll check all these guys. Now with all these guys checked, we can begin painting. This is a pretty big ball here. We're going to go change our brush size down a bit. And for this, we kind of want a main road to be here, but we kind of want this person to be slightly hidden. So let's do paint density 0.01. Save all. Sure. There we go. So maybe we'll do a little bit bigger of a brush, because these are some big trees. Point 1. So we're going to eliminate all these and kind of have. There we go. It's kind of what I was expecting, a little bit more. Put like that, and we're just kind of painting some trees here. And that's really all there is to it, to getting trees down. Now we could cover a huge area of trees, but we don't really know where we're going to want forest for now. But I'm guessing we're going to want pretty much forest around our entire kind of farm. Even to kind of block where the zombies are spawning a little bit. So we won't, character might not see the zombies spawn in. We'll just see the zombies coming their way when they're actually in the farm. And again, just to erase, you could just shift click to erase. There you have it. We got a little tree line there. Kind of take a look at this. We'll go back to selection mode. We'll hit play.
Don't forget to save then.
We could save here. We got our zombie guy out here. We got our nice trees. And then you can see that our zombie guys are coming in here. There you go. We got some light in here. We could save all. Sure. We didn't do much. Should be a nice quick save. And now, so yeah. That's it. That's all there is really for getting some trees in there. Like I said, once we figure out more on how we're going to design this map, working with him, we'll kind of figure out where we're going to want forest and where we want our neighbors and stuff like that. But next, we need to be able to get these doors moving here. So we're going to open up our farmhouse here. The one thing we do want to do is we actually want to take out the doors. I was just doing this for testing examples, but when you're doing a blueprint base, you you don't want the doors to be there. Alright. Because the doors are going to be interactable, where the rest of this house is an actual static mesh. It's not moving, it's not interacting. So sometimes you want the windows to actually separate too. Anything that you're going to be interacting with is going to be its own object, because it's going to do something. It's not going to be static per se, right? So we took out the doors. Now we're going to look at the house here, and we're going to actually bring in some doors. So we have camp here, we have farmhouse. We'll just throw this farmhouse in here. And for this farmhouse, we're also going to add a door. So what I did just quickly is I was making this farmhouse door as an example. On the viewport, you can see it's just the door, just as you've seen before. But now we have this collision box. And that's all it is just a basic collision box. When you overlap with it, it will just notify something. When you leave it, it'll just notify something. And then in the event graph, when we overlap, I'm going to say we can open the door. When we are not overlapped, we can't open the door. So we're going to have this interact interface. And what is this interact interface? This is a style of blueprint that allows one blueprint to talk to another blueprint by way of sending message to all blueprints that have that interface implemented. And I will actually do that interface, or sorry, BPI interface Oh, I did interface, interact, derp, interact. There we go. And so all I have is an interact, and this function that I create just returns an owning, just takes an input of an owning character controller. That's it. There's nothing here. It's just a blank function that takes the owning controller in. Alright? So now we have, at this time, I just started to make, if I go to contents here, our own character. So if I go to characters, we now have our, did it save? I do not think it's saved. I might have to make them again. That's fine. We're going to take our base shooter character and we're going to make a child of it, because we want everything from our base a base shooter character, but we're going to add some stuff to it, and we only want it to affect for our game. So we're going to have a new character called Homestead Character. Character. There we go. Homestead Character. I'll open this guy up. He is a child of this. And so he has everything. If you do parent and construct script, he has everything that the base shooter class would have. It'd have all this stuff here. It'd have set the HUD. It'd have all of this functioning by default. But what we want to change is this left button fire. Or, no, left button fire could be fine. What we will do is something similar to the left button fire. We are going to do E. And again, this is just temporary because they are changing the way they really do keys and stuff. Let's see here. It's always a little bit more difficult to find these. I want input, because we want to be able to get the key, the E key input. Nope, that sucks. Oh, let's try if I could do input E. There we go. So when you hit the E key, that's going to be our interaction. And when we hit the E key, we are getting the camera manager. We're going to do something like this here. We're going to do this line trace. We're going to duplicate that. So it's going to send out a line from wherever our camera is looking. And we're going to break our hit result. So we're going to get our hit actor. We're going to cast. Promote to variable. There, hit actor. Find. We can see if he has interface or interact. So if it hit the actor, if this actor it hit has the BPI interface in it, it will fire whatever that interact is. And in our case, the door, our interact is going to do flip-flop between this, which is opening is a timeline, which is just going to set the rotation of the door and play a sound.
Will the door have force?
You could make the door have force, but we're just doing an actual interacting
A sudden
force
change?
door. If you're adding force to a door, it would be more like a physics thing. And you could have it so it's like a spring physics where you could just push the door and just run into it, body it. And I could go over with that with you another time, just in case that's the way you want to do things. Right now, we're just going to have like an interact with the door. That way, once we know that interact is working, we're going to do also interact with other objects, like a cabinet to get ammo.
Okay, yeah. Door's a good start.
I just realized we did all this in our base character. We don't want to actually do that. We're going to kill that. We're going to put this in our homestead character. Because our base shooter, we want just to kind of be our base shooter. Our homestead character is going to have our interactions and everything like that. I'm going to save that. Fire line traces visibility channel for now. Let's make sure our door is being able to be hit through the block all, and it does block the visibility channel as well as the camera channel. So that's good. The block all visibility and camera. So we should be able to hit the door and compile and save. But I do kind of just like the bullet. Let's see. There is sort of a draw time here for duration. Okay. So it should kind of draw for us. Let's hit play. Oh, nope. We have to switch our character up. So, we also want to test this out. We go to our world setting. We're going to switch from our base character. We're going to be using our homestead character now. And just like we're going to be changing our HUD to the homestead HUD, the homestead player controller, the homestead game state, and player state. Slowly but surely, because we want all of this to be with our stuff. So there's at some point where we are setting the gun to the hip in the that's our homestead character. Let's see in our base character where we're putting that rifle to his hip. On begin play, weapon set up. And we're doing all that stuff there. Now, if I go to our homestead character, begin play, we call our parents begin play. So we'll just do a print string just to make sure this is active. Let's do a simple hello. And the other thing is we actually didn't drag in our farm door. And though I did see us press the E key, farm door is there, and I think we need to do like 1.15 or 1.14, I think, or something like that. Bar farm door. Alright, so let's try this again. So, odd. So I don't think when we hit E, anything's firing. So, also want to enable input. And get player controller. Just make sure that's working. And we're also going to do a print string here to make sure this is actually working. We'll call this interact. And on the character, when we hit the E key, we want to say print string fire line trace. So we know that it's firing the line trace. And we could we get the controller, which gets the controller. Alright. And sends it in. Alright, we'll do get owning controller, get controller, get player controller. Is there no owning controller? We do just get player controller for now, because we know this is all just working with the local. Later on, we wouldn't want to be getting the player controller. We would want to be getting... Oh, this is still a macro for getting the player controller. There you go. Get player controller. So this is just player index 0. Later on, we will be setting that up differently. Alright. So let's see. And we'll do a print string to say that it fired here. Alright. So we're going to hit play. Line trace fired, fired. But it's not actually hitting anything. So I wonder where my line trace is going. Camera manager, get route. Display for duration, 5 seconds maybe. Oh! That's why it doesn't have a start location. I don't know how that didn't work out, but we want to start from the camera location. And we want to get the camera forward location and add 2000 so it shoots a certain distance in front. And so we're going to try this here. Oh, we're in the ground.
Gotta break your legs now.
Yeah. There we go. We're firing our line traces. Let's see what we could do with this door. So we should be able to just fire, whoop, there we go. And the door, we can open the door now. And so that's how we use an interaction. So we could disable this so we know this is working. We could get rid of this because we know this is working. We actually get rid of this because we know this is working. 1 second. I just gotta send the kids to bed, I guess. They have broken free. 1 second. Sorry about that. Alright. So, we got a line trace going. We're doing our interactions. We can interact with the door. One thing we want to do is you only want to be able to fire this when you're actually up close to the door. So, I don't think this is necessary either. We're going to take that away. But we are going to do a branch where if the door can open, we're going to do this. If otherwise, we're not going to do anything. We're only going to open the door if we can open the door. We're also going to no debug type. We don't need to see the line anymore, but we will put this back to 0.5 just in case if we do need to see it again. We'll see it for the short time that we need it. So it's going to fire the line trace invisibly, so the player can't see it. And yeah. And we're also just going to do that. We're going to take this middleman out, where we're just going to set the interaction of the hit actor. And we're not going to store the hit actor as a variable, because we might not be using it. We're going to minimize that so it's nice and neat. And variables. It's not there anymore. Good. What's here? We're going to delete the hit actor here. There we go. So now we should only be able to open the door when we're up close to it. But if the door hits us, it will stop doing its animation. So we'll go out here, we'll hit play. There we go. We'll climb on that. And we got our door that moves. I think the hitbox is tied to the door. It's only going to move. So, I think the swing is a little bit wild as well. we'll go in here, go to this here, which is, close that, and we'll just open this up. What is this? It's another thing for some reason. Got dragged. So timeline. There we go. And so this is a curve for how the door should open from negative. Alright, we're going to do maybe this goes from 120 to negative 120. That's not right. So this is supposed to be 0 to 120. So time 0, value 0. So that might be better. We'll try this time 1, value negative. We'll do 120. We'll save that. And see how our door works this time. So I do want it to open inwards. So we'll just do 120 for this farm door. And we'll hit play. But I think, like I said, we have this, they are separate. So if I go to the viewport and I go to rotate this door, whoop, Control Z, and I go to click on the door here, and I go to rotate the door, it shouldn't touch the box. So the box should be the same no matter what. So we always should be able to just stand there. So now we have a door that's, interestingly enough, I believe, do I have to hit the door? Because it's the actor. I actually have to hit the actor. So, when looking at the door, I could close the door. And there we go. I actually have to send it to the door, and then it's fine. There we go. Now, we as the player when we go to our parents begin play, it's still not doing our weapon setup. So we will also do our weapon setup. I mean, do we have a HUD? We have enemy. But we do not have our bullets. Oh, this is AI though. That's setting that up. All right. So we normally don't want to do something like a cast, but we'll worry about that later. So we'll just do this weapon setup after. So do weapon setup. We got a weapon setup. Should be sent to our pistol. Actually not gonna mess with that. Or that. There we go. I'm just going to attach the weapons to the right sockets. Alright, obviously that's there, so we'll see if we can actually get our weapon on our leg here. Nope, it's still on the ground. Interesting. So our weapon setup might have been firing, but just not working. So it just means our character does not have a holster socket. I had some problems with ALS, and I think that's what's going on here. I had to put a new version of ALS, and ALS must have had the ammo firing widget, which we can just add from our pistol later, and it must have had our actual holster for our socket. That is fine. So we'd have to add this socket to our skeleton. So we could go to base mesh here, find our guy, open this up, go to skeleton, and on our leg, our right thigh, we could add a socket, and our socket, we can move it. We want it to be kind of just like, yeah, down on the thigh. So maybe like 10 and like 20 maybe. Looks like a good spot for it on the thigh. Might even bring it up a little bit. So -2. So a little bit higher on the, a little bit more forward on the thigh. Maybe like -5 actually. If you want it near the front. And there we got our thigh, but we don't want it named that socket. We want it named our pistol hold socket. We'll save that. Now it's on our skeleton. We close this, save that. You should be able to see that it starts off and our pistol is back on our side again. Yep. Oh, we just gotta change the rotation. Its rotation's all messed up. So another thing you could do for that, actually, we open this guy up sadly again, click on our skeleton again, close this guy, is on our holster socket. We could add a preview match, and we could do pistol see if we find something like that. Pistol skeletal mesh. There we go. These are the kind of pistols that we're using. These are just the grips though. They have a full weapon. Don't think they have a full weapon because it's all piecemealed together. So we will just do like the grip or something. And as you can see, that's kind of like the way our weapon was. So for the rotation of the socket, we're gonna want it to be kind of like facing downwards. So that's minus 80. So let's try 0, 0, minus 70, minus 90. And then we do need to rotate it this way. So it's kind of like on the guy's leg. So try minus 90, 0, minus 90. See how that goes? No. We just want it like 90, and that's on the Z. So 0, 90, minus 90. Oh, that's the wrong way. So minus 90. There we go. Let's just do 0 on this guy. Still a little bit forward. Minus 5. What? 5 is there, and minus 5 is there. Is it because I have turned? How about 10? There we go. 8. Oh, 5. Yeah, 5 is actually good. There we go. So after that, we're just getting kind of picky. And so if we hit play now on our character, we have our rifle in our leg. I'm gonna hit Q. We got it in our hand, right? Like I said, we can run up to our guys now. We got our zombies. There we go. Now we do want to get. Oh, it's fine. Adding impulse to the guy, we're not using that. We do want to get the bullets, so we do want to go to our pistol factory. Is it blueprints? UI. Ammo counter. We want that. We need to add that to one of our HUDs. So we have an AI management HUD that we've seen there before. In our thing here, when we go to the event graph, we have this HUD, and we're opening this AI management HUD class, and it just has this here, and the next waves at the top. What we could do is we could do ammo counter, pistol ammo counter, and we'll just stick that here. Anchor, it'll be to the bottom right, but we want it like negative 500 or negative 400. That's about right. Negative 300, negative 250. There you go. And even this guy, we do want these guys a little bit up. So this guy, maybe 100 and negative 400, maybe, no, negative 300 and 100 for sure, and negative 100, negative 150. That's about good. We want to bring this guy down to like negative 200. There we go. Because we want to keep off the borders. Things like the PlayStation console will not allow you to have the pistol ammo, equipped weapon, current ammo. It gets all these is valid. ALS based shooter. There we go. And again, this is where I make sure I set to owning player. Not too sure why we couldn't get owning player before, but that's fine. We'll fix that later on. And we'll hit play. Now we got our pistol firing. But as you can see, we're actually still displaying on the fire. When we fire, start firing. Whoa, 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 whoa. How does this happen again? Oh, the viewport should be a part of this. That's it. Fire bullets. There we go. We don't want this. We know this works now. Stop having things like that. Alright. And actually, we could probably take away the line trace now for our weapon. Duration, none. We won't do a line trace. There we go. But when we're doing this, we're getting our base character, we're getting the equipped weapon, current pistol, set equipped weapon. And normally we'll be getting the equipped weapon from the guy, and then adding that. And if it is full auto and stuff. Equip, well, it has ammo in pocket. It's here. This is on the equipped weapon. So the equipped weapon has ammo in pocket. So the equipped weapon is, what is the equipped weapon? It is a pistol base class. So what we want to do is first we're going to look for, now we get inside, we're going to have some sort of nightstand here. So we're going to look for environment assets, shared for now, interior, tables maybe, something like this. This could be by a door. Looks pretty nice. Stand by the door where people can put their keys and stuff. Have a little plant. Like, it must be floating or something. Yeah, it is floating. I want to make sure it's not too wide, actually, guys. Oh, that's fine, actually. It's actually under the window, so even though it's wide, it's not going to be really noticed. Bring this in. Can't bring it in. Why? So it'd be, so this is 10. Oh, just do 180. We don't need to do minus 180. That's weird. This is minus 835. Yeah, something like that. And just for looks, we'll see if we have any plants. There we go. We don't need this plant at all. It has nothing to do with anything. I just would see somebody having like a plant by the door, I guess. Plant would most likely be dead by this time if we're doing a zombie kind of apocalypse thing. But we'll just pretend that this is a non-living plant or something. Alright, so we have this plant. So now we want to interact with this kind of shelf here. So we go back to the shelf. We're going to find its home, which is here. And this is the shared environments, but we want to have a shelf that's kind of more specific right now to our mode. So we're going to go back to our environments. We have our homestead folder here. So we're going to take this, we're going to duplicate or copy here. Side table F2, we're going to subset it and call it like H8 for homestead. So we're going to open this this table up, and we're actually going to get this location, copy it, paste it, delete that guy, and we're going to do our 180 here. There we go. So now we have our homestead table. And we're going to do something kind of like our door. We're going to... What is going on here? The viewport again. What? Why does it keep doing that? We want to stick the viewport here. Alright. So... we go to graph. We want to get something like this here. So, in our side table, so we can delete this old one, we want some sort of collision box. Pipe box. We got collision box here. Alright, it's outside the table, so it's not going to affect that. And when we're in this collision box, we're going to allow it to be interacted with. So the collision box can pretty much be static, that's sure. Maybe 2 by 2 by 2. And maybe we'll do like 100. I don't know, more like 50, I guess. That seems about right. So now, as long as we're in here, we're going to be able to add up to it. Just like the door, we're going to want a can open, copy. We could just paste that in there. And this box we're going to want when we overlap, and when we end our overlap. We're going to slide these guys back, and just to make things a little bit quicker, we are going to copy this quickly. Before we do this, we're going to add our interact, We had a BPI interact, compile. We're going to paste this. We have BPI interact, we have this. And again, we're going to go here and we're going to hold Alt, and drag these. Hooked one up here. Hooked one up here. And this one where I say we can interact, this one's this. So the difference here is we're not going to be grabbing our door. We're going to be grabbing our drawer. And we're going to open our timeline. We're going to call this, rename, drawer move. And this is 120. That could be way too much, but we'll see. So we go back to the graph. We'll be taking the drawer move, and we'll be transforming the X into update, just like the door. Just do that off the update. And so if we interact with it again, the drawer will go back in. Translate. So that's not working. Okay. Try this. And again, we might want to split the pin. We're going to set here this viewport so it's relative to the parent, right? In the X, we want to go all the way out. Oh, I only want to go like .54 out. .24 to 54. So we want to compile and save. And we go back to our graph here. we want to I want to change this to 24, I believe. And I want to change this guy to 54. And we have a little curve there. So the updates, should it go? I might just do this at 60. And we're gonna try this guy out. So can't open. We might have to do some print strings here to see what actually is happening. Look, this is our drawer. So let's see here. What we got in our house. So nothing's happening. Our box, let's see it. That's pretty close. We have to be like right up close to it. That's why. Let's see here. We got our box. We have to be like right up close. Maybe we will stretch this box out a little bit. Yeah, because nobody wants to stand that close. At least 3. And should we do 3 on the width too? Oh, that, yeah, that's pretty good. Technically, you'll be able to open the drawer from outside of the house, but it's fine. They still have to line trace the door, so when I'm here, I still won't be able to open the door because I can't actually hit the door because I'll hit the wall first. There we go. So, the drawer opens up. I don't know why it's not reversing. B, reverse. Let's take out this here, because unlike the door, we'll let this bully the player. Even if the drawer opens and hits somebody. I'll just print string here to let me know that it should be closing. Wonder why it's not closing. We'll just start off in the house. Hopefully I'm not too low and I get stuck on the floor. Oh, we could walk down the stairs here, but obviously it's super dark. Alright. Get into the box right area. Drawer opens. Hello. Drawer's supposed to... Oh, there it is. It's just slow, I guess. There you go. There we go. Drawer opens and closes. There we go. Look at that. So it was working. I just was impatient or not looking at it properly or something. Alright. So. Now that we did that, we played this, there's one other thing that we want to do. We want to get owning controller This is just an optional thing, but we do kind of want to open up our interface interaction here. So we're gonna go to contents, all the contents. You're gonna go to BPI interact. I want to open this guy up. We want to click on this guy. We might want to add not just the player controller, but we might want to add our actual player. So let's do shooter base for now. As their shooter base still has a weapon. Shooter. We'll save that. And now, when we look at this guy, we have this. We could actually look at our door too. Our door will have changed too. And we have this shooter class. So when we go to our homestead player now, and we're doing our line trace, it can also ask for our shooter. So we get self. We get reference to ourself. And what we could do with this is we're going to open this drawer. Before we do any of this drawer stuff here, it's all like a self-contained loop. We're going to bring this out a little bit. We're going to get our shooter. And we want to get our equipped weapon. So this gets to be a more generic weapon base. So when I have rifles and stuff, they'll all work. We want to get our equipped weapon. So base pistol, current ammo. And add like a random number. Get shooter. We'll get current pistol maybe. Yep. Current pistol. Max or ammo in pocket. We'll set our ammo in our pocket, or add to our ammo in our pocket. So we'll have to move all this stuff over still a little bit more. Move it down. And so we'll do ammo in pocket. So we'll get whatever ammo's in our pocket. We'll do get random int. Int random integer or random Integer in range. Min like 5, max like 20. And we'll do a plus. So we'll get our current ammo. We'll add 5. We'll add, yeah, like 5 to 20 ammo. Again, normally you'd promote these to variables. So, min ammo to add. Promote to variable, max ammo to add. And it understands that 2 is lowercase t. But you want to put it to a capital case T so it understands it's lowercase t and puts the space in. Then we could hook this back up here. We are. There we go. So now, sit here, we got 5 out of 80, we're sitting there, and all of a sudden, oh shoot, we got zombies coming. We pull out our pistol. Finally get him, and we're like, oh crap, we're low on ammo. We go into the house.
Oh no. When was the last time Dan saved?
Ooh,
Did you save Dan?
I'm always saving. Just not the level, but all the blueprints are always saved. So all we did was add our cabinet to the level, but our cabinet we did all the blueprint and everything into, so it'll be just a quick drop. And maybe our door, but the door is already programmed as well, so it'll be just quickly dropping the door in, quickly dropping the cabinet in, and we're back to where we were.
Okay.
And that's one of the great things about working as everything has separate blueprint files, and you can just constantly save the blueprint files. That was just a random crash though, which is interesting. I should have actually sat there and looked at the error code a little bit longer. See why it crashed. I'm just used to sometimes Unreal just crashing for no reason at all, so I'm just like, oh, okay, it's just probably another random no reason crash. So, but it could have been something that I've done, but I doubt it. It wasn't the same error that we got yesterday at all.
Different thing?
Completely different thing. So, I think we did remedy the error from yesterday.
Good stuff.
My friend here is sweating bullets. I don't know if it's about the game or something else, but he is enjoying what he sees, I think, and Not at the same time. Alright, so we're going to open up our level again after we discover all our assets. I really got to start cracking into these and getting rid of some of these folders. Because again, there's just going to be like a ton of like map files that we're not using. We're not even going to load up those maps. Those maps are just like showcase levels to show what kind of assets are in that folder. Stuff like that, like default characters. There's probably like 100 like UE4 skeletons in here because each one they give you the demo UE4 skeleton that they're doing a thing on. We don't need that many UE4 skeletons. We can delete some. You know what I mean? It's all really big-sizing my file right now.
Yeah, actually, it would probably be good to down that. I mean, your computer's pretty good though.
Yeah, my computer's pretty good, and I was working on it, but like I said, for stream for these guys, whoever's watching, I don't want to do that kind of boring stuff.
Yeah, you just do it off stream.
I do it off stream whenever I get time. So that's my main focus. I'm gonna be eliminating this guy here first, and he's almost done. He's I'm just double checking that I've taken everything out of it.
Okay.
And that's all I'm doing for that. So yeah, right here, all there is a sealed materials folder, a texture folder, and a meshes folder, and in the meshes folder, there's just a couple of doors and a couple of walls left. But I do want to make sure I've gotten all these doors and gotten all the glasses and stuff like that that could be useful. And if I do already have them and my own versions of them, nanited and all that stuff, then I'll just get rid of them. Alright, so we gotta go back to our level that we were working on, gameplay level. Homestead. And I know the coding to you is somewhat jargon, I guess. Just it's unreal, it can be daunting. But at the end of the day, so far what we've got here is if we hit play, we can pull out our pistol, reload with R, kill our guys. Oh shoot, we're low on ammo. We want to go back inside. When we go inside, oh, that's what we're missing. So like I said, we're missing our door and our cabinet. We could just throw those in. So we're going to clear that. That's just something silly. Since the door and the cabinet saved, it's just in our environmental assets, our homestead. This is our door that you get to see up and running. We'll just drop that guy in there. That should be pretty good. And we want our nice little shelf again. We're going to go to details. We will flip this 180. I don't know if I actually have it mapped, but just in case, again, I will lower that. So for our door, Mikey, we go look at our door.
Beautiful. No ray traces.
Ooh, interesting. Why isn't my door working now? Is my drawer work?
Do you need to ray trace from the camera instead of the guy?
Yeah, I believe I am. It should be. So we go to our homestead character. We'll see what's happening here. We'll just do a print string to make sure that's firing. Because I had everything working right before we crashed. So it's odd that we're not. And so we can go over to our door. We can let us know that print string open, and we go to our table, print string ammo. We'll compile and save. We'll compile and save, and we will see what is going on. in here, I hit E. So E's not working. And you know why? Because one of the things that is a part of the level oh, I actually called it Homestead, but that's the map. I gotta call it Settlement. My bad. But what is a part of the level is the because yeah, the Homestead is just the map. We can have multiple maps of the same kind of thing, but the settlement mode is what it's called because you'll be building a settlement and running around gathering materials, right? So yeah, we had the old character. So there we go. We have hello, and our door opens, Mikey. And so if we hit Q, we're gonna fire some pistols. We have 63 ammo. We look at this drawer. We have 73 ammo.
Very nice.
83 ammo. 134 ammo.
It just goes up forever.
So they just go up forever. So we can set it so.
Just it is that it caps you each time, like make a cap and then makes no sense to me.
We could just have it so you gotta go loot like lots of houses. That's the whole point. So you can only get it once, and so once table has been looted, we could say interact. We do branch. We will duplicate this variable here and call it looted, looted. Get, and if it's false, we're going to do that. And we're going to set looted to true, actually. There, so we will only be able to do it once, because once it gets looted, it'll be notified that it's looted, and you will never be able to get it again. But there will be tons of areas in which you can loot later on. All right. Now that we changed this to its character, what if I just actually just go to Finding Home though? I go to characters. I'll change the character name to Homestead to Settlement. F2. Settlement. Character. And we'll do a save all. And now this is a save all, even the map is saved. We'll do one last test to make sure things work. And that's the main stuff I really wanted to hit today. It was a nice day where everything just worked right off the hop. Our door opening, which we might have to move our door or something so it's not like going into the oh, we can only open it once because looted, right? So farm door, we'll change that. And we'll go to this table. If true, we'll just bypass this stuff. There we go. And that way we can still open and close the drawer, or we're not going to get any more ammo. Alright. Now what do we need? So, we have our house. We have our zombies. Pretty much what we can do today. Look at this spawn details. A radius of spawn. So this is 10,000. Radius of spawn is 1,000. Or 5,000. Oh no, 4,000 I guess. A little bit less. 2,500. There you go. $100. $100. And 2,500. So you don't want them all spawning like right in that little pool. Condoms spread them out so they're coming at different angles. We hit play now. See, they're spawning all over. Now we want to go to our spawner, maybe. Number of AI to spawn. And we might do like 30 or something. Respawn infinite. Wave system, yes. $60 is maxed AI. Number of AI to add to the waves. Number of waves. 5 waves. Now. In the level blueprint, we'll have a level blueprint. We might want to. So we have this time of day. So it's 100 hours, so 960 hours is the morning.
We're checking.
What we're going to do is in the level blueprint, reference to dynamic sky, because that's going to have our time of day. We also want a reference to our AI base spawner. I think this will spawn. So we gotta get time of day. So this is, we have this range slider, and we have spawn. So we could do trigger. We look at this, we open this guy up. I don't think we need this guy actually. We want the AI spawner. Starting server is gonna spawn wave right away. Trigger AI. Respawn AI. Start a wave. Delay for next wave. Check if stops waves. Number of waves. Oops. So we might want to start a wave. True delay for the next wave. How many AIs in the next wave? Spawn wave. Number of waves. So, okay. So what we want to do here is at a certain time of day. So if we go back to the sky, when it gets dark, 20, 100 hours, we get dark. It's pretty dark. It's pretty nighttime. 1900 hours, 1800 hours. There we go. Alright. So, we'll put this at 960 again. Time of day. At begin play, we're going to go into our pistol, not this here, our pistol. Maybe go into our character here. So what I'm looking for is we want to spawn the waves at night. Shooting visuals. There we go. So you want to set timer by function name. Or maybe we're gonna do a set timer by event. Let me see. Let me do that. So we just don't want to be firing this as often as our tick. Instead of every like delta seconds non-stop, we want to be firing this a little less often than that. And we could come up with a function. We could actually do function name here. And just like we're doing, is it in our guy here? We have this visual, shooting visuals. From base shooter. Do I make shooting visuals somewhere else? I'm just surprised shooting visual is not here. Shooting timer. Sometimes it's like an event, but it should have been an event. How is it not there? Like I'm expecting shooting visuals to be here. Oh, it's right here. It's in ALS. Shooting visuals, we just made a method, and we're just getting an animation and playing the screen shake. So we could do something like that. So on here, function name, actually, I begin play, time, 1, looping. So every second we're going to try to play this. I'll call it check time of day. And we could even do it maybe even slower than that, like every 100 seconds or something. We can copy that and we can make a function called check time of day. And in time of day, if Control C, the time of day is equal to we might want to check it, like I said, every second, because we don't want to miss it. We wanted to do it at 1800. Branch. So maybe we'll run it every second. So it's looping every second. And it's going to be checking for the time of day. We're going to make this into a variable. Time of Day timer. So every second of every day, it's going to check what time it is, and if the time is 1800, that's when we're going to get the spawn our waves, or we're going to set the waves to 0. And then we're going to spawn waves, pretty much. That was the event graph. So once the waves are set to 0, because it's going to add up every single time, we're going to start a wave. Start a wave. So we are going to set the time to maybe 17:30. I'm not too sure how fast time goes right now. And we will hit play. So maybe what we will do, because that's wave 1, maybe we will take this here. AI is to spawn. Number of AIs to spawn 0. We'll set that to 0. And we will set wave system to false. We'll save and we'll hit play. And then we're going to also set wave system to true and the number of AI to spawn. So we know that it's working. Zero. There's no wave things. Okay. So, sorry, we need wave system. So we gotta take this and do wave system true. We have to set number of AI to spawn, number of AI to spawn, number of AI to spawn, number of a set number of AI to spawn to 30, or maybe we'll just do like 1 or 2. This is all from this here, so we'll connect that. We'll connect that. We'll connect that. There we go. We'll also print string time of day. So I hit play. So time of the day isn't moving right now, so we gotta change that.
It's 11 o'clock, eh?
Oh, it's 11 o'clock, so we're gonna finish here. And we do want to animate time of day, so that's what was not going. We'll quickly save this. We'll save all here, and we'll quickly see if this is running. There we go. Time of day is moving. And about every second it's doing a check. So once we get to 1800, we should get waves and stuff. So it shouldn't take that long. Just gotta wait, like, I guess 40 seconds. Will feel really long.
You're testing, you might have put it shorter, eh?
Yeah, next time I should have put it shorter. But alright, but yeah, and so once it hits 1800, we should set the number of waves to 0, and we should be spawning waves. And that means every night we're going to get attacked.
Nice.
And that's one of the big things. And then we have triggers, so we can trigger zombies when they're out and about. Stuff like that. Right, here we go. Let's get nighttime here. And nothing happened. But it didn't hit exactly 1800. It missed it. Interesting. So we could do a bunch of stuff for this day. So we do like a variable for spawn of the day. In branch. Which in this quick test we're going to do, it's always going to be false. And we could do or greater than equal to here 1800. Compile. Spawn a day will be false as long as it's false. And like normally we would set the spawn of the day to true once it's spawned. And then we could test if the day is less than a certain amount, then we'll reset the spawn of the day. But for now, we will also set our time to like 1750. So, oh no, we want closer, like 1790. There you go. See if we get enemies and stuff in about 4 seconds. See wave 0. There we go. So it's just going to constantly make waves. So waves of the day is false. Then we're going to set it to true. And we're going to spawn our wave. And if it's false, and it is less than equal to the morning, like 400 branch. Then what we would do is we would set to there. So only after it's gone a certain far, it'll reset. And then that's how we would do it. Alright guys, now we'd have our endless waves of zombies every night. Thank you guys so much for coming to stream. I did a little bit overboard today. But yeah, hopefully get back next Sunday. If my visitor is still here, we'll continue on this. If not, we'll continue on working on the main lobby level. Thank you guys for much watching, and I'll see you guys next time.